What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hardline Transport Solutions Rebel Truck Series. I'm Eddie Smith here on VSRN for another night of Sunday Night Trucks here in the original Rebel Racing League. Iowa. Whoa, what can we say about Iowa other than what a tough track for the trucks? As, man, just low horsepower. This track, very, very fast track, very bumpy. Going to be tough for these guys to deal with, tough to make passes. But if there's anybody who can do it, these guys on the track here in the Hardline Transport Solutions Rebels Truck Series. Got a bunch of drivers here, a little over 25 trucks tonight. Take on Iowa Speedway. Going to be a lot of fun. You see Iowa Speedway there from Newton, Iowa, opened in 2006. One of the newer tracks on the NASCAR circuit. And it puts on some pretty good racing. We've seen the ability to be able to use the Hardline to really block off the bottom be good early. As the tires start to wear out, that top side becomes really strong as you get really massive runs off the corner. And you see just a little under a mile. So for a under a mile track, it's very, very fast. And the banking, it's just, there's not enough banking. If you had a little bit more banking, I think would be a lot better track, but definitely makes it interesting, especially with the bumps. Take a look at the standings here so far. Jonathan Cofield with the 4-point lead over his teammate Michael Kostick. Andy Kurtz just 5 points back from there. You see all three of those with wins, and Aaron Adcock in fourth with that win earlier in the season. So all your winners up front. Charles Stevens there in ninth place also has one. So we'll see if anybody can make some big moves here early. We still got quite a few ways to go in the season. I'm not sure those win totals are correct, honestly. I want to say Jeremiah Holt has a win as well, so maybe those point totals didn't, the win columns didn't get updated. I'm not sure, but we'll just go with it. But you see Iowa, here we are, just 6 races into the season, but not too much longer. If you're thinking about a playoff run, going to be interesting to see who can really take control right now. Jonathan Cofield has that control, and this is definitely a good track for him, so we'll see who's able to get it done tonight. We got Dover next week, into Talladega, Worldwide. I mean, just a great schedule. Going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Well, all right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the grid while everybody is getting ready to go. Take a look at who is going to take home the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award. And that's going to go to Andy Kurtz. Going to start up front with Jonathan Cofield on the outside. Next to him is going to be Michael, or one row back, going to be Michael Kostick and Tracy Passons. Garrett Kenner going to start in the 5th position. Brett Bieber in 6th. 7th, going to be Aaron Adcock. And Brandon Wallace is going to start 8th. 9th, going to be Charles Stevens. James Nelson in the 10th position. 11th, Josh Lukovitz. Jeremiah Holt in the 12th position. Steve McDonald, Butch Taylor, 13th and 14th. 15th, Spencer Gay. 16th, Chuck Pegleg Phelps. 17th, Mike Bertosa, able to race with us tonight. Excited to see that. 18th is going to be Mickey Isaac. 19th, Alex V. Tommy Osborne going to round out your top 20. 21st, Matt Knight, Stephon Davis in 22nd. 23rd, Curtis Sauberin, and 24th, Mike V. And rounding out the end of your field is going to be Gary Wright. And that is your lineup for tonight as everybody getting rolling here. And we're going to have 118 laps of exciting racing up front. And I can't wait to see it. Let's take a look at the VSRN race analysis. Big setup, 118 laps. 4 total sets of tires, 80% fuel. I think the tires will last a little bit longer than we think. But we'll see as the track starts to cool down just a little bit where we end up as far as that goes. They'll go around one more time, and then we'll get this thing under green. Iowa, just such an interesting track. You know, it's tough as we look going down to the corner right here. You see on the track, you won't be able to see it, but at full speed, you definitely will be able to. Right in the middle of this corner, there is a bump right here that you have to be smart about. You can't just drive into the corner, get back on the gas as soon as you want. If you hit that bump, it'll upset the truck, and you'll find yourself out of shape and probably going up the racetrack or spinning out. And then off in turns 3 and 4, you really need to just make sure that you don't spin out off of turn 4. We'll see how the setup is, and if it's loose at all, that'll be you know, a pretty telltale soon early on of how the truck is handling. But looking forward to some good racing as always in the Rebels Truck Series. It's been a great season so far. Had a road course last week, and we're back to the ovals tonight. But getting ready to go green here. Hayes truck is off, and green flag is out here in the Hardline Transport Solutions Rebels Truck Series. Lap number 1 in the book for Andy Kurtz as he has got a small lead over Jonathan Cofield, who is already to the back bumper looking to push for that lead. As back here we've got a ton of drivers. We've got the 808 and Charles Stevens side by side along with James Nelson and Josh Lokovitz. James Nelson got a nice run off the top there. Just know where to go with it, just say. But see some guys working that top side here early. Now, the top side of 1 and 2, you have to be careful. There is a bump up there as well, and you need to be aware of it, as that can really put you in a tough position. Up front, though, Jonathan Cofield down to the inside, trying to take the lead early. We'll see how hard Andy Kurtz is going to fight. Not much he can do there. Maybe try a crossover as Cofield blinks out a little bit. Uh-oh, that's not good. Don't want to have that, especially early in this race. Oh, you see Tracy passes already into the wall in that 53 machine, pushing hard to try to get up here and get some track position here early in the race. But up front is a 4-car breakaway with Jonathan Cofield, Andy Kurtz, and Michael Kostick, Tracy Passenger. Top 4, Garrett Kinder back there in the 5th position. These trucks pulling away just a little bit here early in this run. Let's take a look at our webcams here tonight. We got Mike Veith, Alex Veith, Brandon Wallace, Aaron Adcock, Chuck Pegleg Felts, Mickey Isaac, and Charles Stevens Jr. He's got his own road down there, so appreciate all the guys with the cameras. Definitely always appreciate that. We'll take a look at those through the night to see what their reactions are and how they're running right now. Jonathan Cofield starting to pull away just a little bit here early as Tracy Passen's really been putting some pressure here on Michael Kostick. You see Tracy way up the track in 3 and 4. You're going to see the massive run. Look at the run he's going to get here on Michael Kostick. That's the power of the top side. The only danger is going to wear your tires out a little bit earlier. So you have to manage that. You see that bump right there as they went over it. You're going to have to manage that throughout the run. You don't want to use the top side too much and put a lot of pressure on that right front tire as it could spell trouble. But track position is going to be more important than anything here tonight. Looks like Tracy going to get to the back bumper, not quite able to get a run to go down to the inside, but he is right on the back bumper of that 8 truck. Go back here. We got a battle still going on between Charles Stevens Jr. and Josh Lukovitz. Now Josh Lukovitz blinking out. So some guys with some connection issues. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem later in the race. We've already seen the leader, Jonathan Cofield, with a similar issue. Charles Stevens trying to make this pass down at the bottom, but Lukovitz has that top side, and you can see just how strong that top side can be. And you're going to see this massive run that Lukovitz is going to get, and that's actually going to bring Brandon Wallace up next to Charles Stevens Jr. Already the top side looking to be extremely strong. Take a look at the weather here, as the track's only 78 degrees, so it's gripped up and ready to go. We're not going to see too many folks getting loose. I think tight is what you're going to be worried about, is that those tires are going to have pretty dang good grip pretty much all night long. Brandon Wallace is going to go now to the inside of Charles Stevens. Charles slid up in front of him, but I think Charles is going to be able to hold him off. You see that top side just a little bit too strong. Look how much space those that Charles Stevens was able to get here on Brandon Wallace. Doing some good breathing, you know, just like a fighter pilot. Breathing very, very important when you go into the corners. All those G-forces on your body. You got to make sure you breathe. And so Brandon Wallace doing a good job of that. You can see some heavy breaths. Even in sim racing, these guys hold their breath, and you're just trying to get every little bit out of this car as you can. Run down Charles Stevens here, but it is slow moving. Up front, Tracy Parsons was able to get around Michael Kostick, and now here comes Garrett Kinder down to the inside for the 4th position. So Garrett Kinder started 5th, has kind of fell back a little bit, maybe saving those tires just a tad, and now he is ready to roll. As now we're on board, Garrett Kinder sees the setup for this pass, gonna have the run down to the inside and see if he can complete this. It's gonna be tougher and tougher to do this as the run goes on, as Kostick really lays on the right side of that 13 machine. 13 gonna try to go down to the inside and make that pass happen, but Kostick gonna have the right position. See, Garrett Kinder actually has to lift just a little bit as that truck's getting tight in the middle of 3 and 4. Everything's starting to single file out just a little bit as the 13's gonna try the inside again. I just don't know if that's gonna work. It doesn't seem to be just doesn't seem to want to happen right now, as the bottom is just starting to fall away here as we get to lap 20. So a little bit earlier than I thought, honestly, as now Tracy Parsons. Tracy's been all over the track. He's running that hotline. You see, he almost gets in the wall. It may have tapped it just a little bit, but he was trying to get to the back bumper of Andy Kurtz and had some sort of trouble. Here goes Kostick down to the inside. I wonder if this is going to end up losing Kostick 4th place by doing that. Garrett Kinder's going to follow him. We'll see. Garrett's going to come off the corner and fill that gap. You can see now Garrett Kinder is side by side with the 8. That's exactly where he wants to be, on that outside. And so now you see my beef with Iowa. It's such a silly track on iRacing. I think in real life it puts on a much better show. But this is the frustration. If you're Kostick, you had a run, you go down to the inside, and now you lose a spot because the bottom side just doesn't work. As man, Garrett Kinder, they almost go 3 wide. Tracy Pass is going to be in the wall. He yanks it off the wall. Garrett Kinder smartly pulls down, give him some room to do that, and so they're able to escape that, but that was a scary moment. But yeah, you see the frustration of this track. Kostick had a run, going to try to pass for that 3rd position, and he opens the door for Garrett Kendrick, gets on the outside, and that's just, fortunately, that's the nature of this track. Caustic tries to go to the outside there. It has to check up off of 4, and now he's going to lose another spot. Oh, he's going to drive on the door, that 17, and get a massive run off the corner, so able to salvage it and see just how strong the top side really is. And I'm going to say that over and over again all night long. We'll see if Garrett Kendrick can run down the second place. He's already driven up from 5th to 3rd, and now looking to maybe run down Andy Kurtz. He is about a 10th faster than Andy, so might see a new second place driver pretty soon. Back through the field, man, look at this right here. We've got a cluster of drivers back here as Bertosa on the outside, and you see Chuck Pegleg Phelps here leading this little group as, man, Bertosa in the wall there. He's going to come down the track, everybody able to avoid him. But we got Chuck here. Chuck has fallen back a couple spots, but currently just trying to maintain, but he's got a lot of fellas behind him trying to take the position. One of those being Curtis Saubrin in that M&M's machine. Gets way high, trying to get that run, just not quite able to get the momentum he needs. Chuck gets a good drive off the turn. Let's watch this bump going down to the corner. Watch this. Look how massive it is. I mean, it's moving the whole screen as he goes through 1 and 2. It's a very, very tough thing. It just unsettles the truck, makes it so difficult. The trick to do it is to drive down to the corner, wait as the tires start to wear out. Wait until you feel that bump and then gas it up, and that will give you a pretty good run without having to deal with the issues of the truck sort of bottoming out, having some handling issues once you do that. Up front, man, look at this battle. Michael Kostick, Tracy Passons, and Aaron Adcock. Aaron in that 17 machine right behind his teammate. Really nowhere to go. We'll see if Kostick can make that bottom line work here on Tracy. Tracy bit into it, the wall quite a bit here early in the race, so may have a little bit of damage. He's been running the top side exclusively, so he may have some tire wear issues, but he's really made a lot of contact, so I'd be surprised if that wasn't the case. But Aaron has been one of the bigger movers in the top 10 as he's been able to make up a couple spots here. Looking to maybe just follow the 8 truck. The 8, one of the best tire savers for sure, so he can manage those tires and get himself up to the front just following the 8. Up, battle for second. Andy Kurtz under fire from the 13. They're trying to get a run off the bottom of turn 2. We'll see. He's able to get right to the back bumper. And I can't tell if he's trying to get to the outside quarter panel, but Andy's doing a good job of defending against that, saying, nope, you're not going to get to the outside of me. That's what you need to do. But Garrett Kendrick coming on strong here at the end of this run. I mean, he's been moving up slowly, but you see, he does get a really good run through 1 and 2 off the bottom. He's sort of running in the middle of that seam, but Andy Kurt's going to go way up the track. We'll see if the 13 can maintain that run. He does down the front straightaway, and Andy Kurtz just lets him go. So Andy deciding that, hey, he didn't want to lose any more time, doesn't want to give up, potentially lose a spot to Michael Kostick, who's starting to run these guys down a little bit, and try to maintain that gap to Jonathan Cofield, who is out to a, as he blinks out, Cofield out to a 3.3 second lead over second place Garrett Kendrick. Back here in 11th and 12th, we've got Spencer Gay moving up through the field. He's one of your biggest movers as well. There's a lot of people that's been up 3 spots. Garrett Kinder, James Nelson, Josh Lokovitz, all up 3 spots. Spencer Gay, Mickey Isaac is up 4 along with Stephen Davis. So got a lot of folks moving. We got some people falling too. We got Mike Bertosa, who's had just a rough night, down 8 spots already. And then Jeremiah Holt down 5. So some drivers just having issues here early as Spencer Gay down gets to the inside of Brandon Wallace, if he can make that inside work. And you see nobody's really going to the inside. They're just kind of running that middle seam or that middle lane and trying to maintain that momentum so the top side doesn't get too much of a run on them. But you can see there, it's just tough for Spencer Gay to really try to make a good move at him. Gets side by side with Brandon Wallace. The 68 is going to fill that gap up on the top side. And if Spencer Gay can't complete the pass, then he will be relegated back to the 13th position. So it's a frustrating track, man. Just to try to move up through the field, especially right now that the tires are really, really hot. They're starting to lose grip. It's hard to find grip to make a pass. It's just really, really difficult. Got the first driver down pit road. That is James Nelson. He comes down to make his stop. Get 4 tires and fuel. Feels a little bit early, so I'm not really sure what's going on because it looks like Mike Bertosa as well in pit road. So these guys going down a little bit too early, I think. I'm not really sure unless they just want to get some new tires on so they feel a little bit more comfortable out there. But I feel like it's a little bit too early. I would imagine these guys can go halfway at least, lap 60 that is. So I'm not really sure. Back up to the racing, though. 8th and 9th, Charles Stevens goes to the inside of Brett Bieber, able to clear him off the corner, but Brett Bieber going to fight back here on the inside, that 808 machine, and Charles Stevens going to drive down to the corner on his door to try to maintain that top side. And off the corner, I think Charles is going to have that run that he needs. And here's the danger. I mean, look now, all of a sudden now Brett Bieber is in big trouble as they continue to fill this gap. He may fall all the way back to the 12th position by just that one move going down to the inside instead of falling in line. Look, here he is getting passed by now Spencer Gay. And if he doesn't get to the top side quickly, Steve McDonald's going to fill that gap here off of turn 2. And he does. So here comes Steve McDonald down to the out to the outside of Brett Bieber. And that's, people always make fun of me for saying I hate this track, and that's exactly why. I mean, Brett Bieber was getting past, and yeah, he's kind of falling back anyway, but just that one move down to the inside trying to pass somebody, and then you just end up losing spot after spot after spot. It just makes for a tough race, and I don't know if you can really overcome it by just being a good driver. I think you have to find track position and hope that the guy in front of you makes a mistake. This has been a lot of fun watching these guys try to make these passes. Spencer Gay, now your biggest mover. He has really been scooting along. We'll go on more with him, see what he's doing. It's a little bit different. Running with the right side tires on that next to last lane, and boy, that gave him a lot of speed off the corner as he's able to go down to the inside. We'll see if he can do 1 and 2. You can see this bump right here. Here it comes. Boom. Right there, and you got to be on the gas. You just don't have enough RPM, doesn't have enough motor to really take advantage of it. I think some cars can do a good job at it, but these trucks are very, very difficult. And he is going to clear Brandon Wallace off the corner, and so move Spencer Gay into the top 10 and up 6 spots from where he started. Now somebody else that's a big mover, Stephon Davis. They keep going back and forth. There's one big mover, and then they'll get a couple spots, and then there's another. But Stephon Davis been going back and forth with Spencer Gay for biggest mover. But right now, Stephon Davis started 22nd, currently in 14th. So that 60 truck doing a great job here. Like to get inside the top 10 before pit stops, if possible. Back to this battle. Spencer Gay trying to get around now Charles Stevens, who is falling off the pace a little bit. Charles had kind of moved up a few spots, but now is kind of struggling here towards the end of this run. But it looks like everybody's going to be able to get to lap 60, I would imagine. And so it's going to be a one-stop race from there. It's going to be a quick race for sure if we stay green. No cautions so far in the race, which is really impressive, especially at a track that's so difficult to pass. But everybody's been minding the manners. I haven't seen any crazy moves here so far. Charles Stevens looking down to the inside of Josh Lokovitz. Let's see if he can complete this pass. Or will he be relegated back further if he's not able to complete this pass? I mean, it's a risky move. You can see, you know, he felt like he was faster, and he is getting a good little run right here. If he clear him down into turn one, he'll be okay. But you look, those three trucks lined up on the outside. If he's not able to complete the pass, he's going to lose all of those spots and not able to do it off of turn two. And look at the run that the top side is going to get. Spencer Gay all over the back bumper. That 79. Looks like the 79 not handling as well. And Charles Stevens going to slide up in front of the 79 and give him that position. And that was a great move by Charles Stevens. He had to do that. I mean, look at all the trucks that are coming. Do not want to be in trouble like that. Now, you can run the bottom when you're by yourself because you can use the whole track. That's sort of the issue with it. And you even see there that Charles Stevens able to use the whole track still. The 79 got to the back bumper. But look at all these trucks. You've got new tires, old tires. That's Mike Bertosa there getting real loose, going down to the bottom of the track. As Mickey Isaac now moves up past Brandon Wallace. Got a lot of people on cam here tonight. I'd love to see that. Mickey Isaac in that 01 Chevrolet has started in the 18th position, now running in 11th, looking to break into the top 10 as there's a lot of new tires right in front of these guys that Mickey Isaac, though, under fire going to be Stephon Davis, who continues to move up through the field. Davis looking like a fish in water at Iowa, man. That's, you know, I think Stephon's had a pretty good year. We'll check the standings real quick to see where Stephon is. Stephon Davis there, 14th in the points, but has been pretty good all season long, but seems like Iowa's just right up his alley. He's going to try to slide Mickey there, but really nowhere to go, and he's got a bunch of trucks right in front of him. Look at from the onboard of Stephon Davis here. You know, I looks like Stephon very comfortable on the bottom line. Maybe as the runs go on, if you really save those tires, you can be in a position where the bottom will kind of work. But you see, even still having trouble here getting around Stephen McDonald. Stephon Davis actually one of the faster trucks on the track. So had he had a better qualifying run, we might be talking about Stephon Davis fighting for that podium position. Able to put down lap times very, very similar. Now, the fastest two are Jonathan Gofield and Garrett Kinder. They both are still running in the 24.9s. Aaron Adcock able to run in a 24.9 as well. So a lot of drivers still finding some speed. But you look at Stephon Davis, the best lap for Jonathan Gofield is a 23.5. The best lap for Stephon Davis is a 24 flat. But now they're running the same lap time. So Stephon doing a great job of saving tires. And look, I thought for sure tire saving wouldn't be a big deal, but you can see these guys who've been running that top side, having to fight a lot, really struggling now, even on the outside. And Stephon Davis has done a fantastic job of saving those tires and is really coming alive. Can drive that 60 truck pretty much wherever he wants it. He's Gonna run down likely Spencer Gay, but got quite a bit of space to get to Tracy Passion. Just a whole lot of traffic to work through. But Stephon Davis up 14 spots before he started. We'll see as they cross the line how Stephon is lapping compared to Spencer Gay. 24.8, fastest truck on the track, Stephon Davis. So, man, it makes you wonder. It shows you how important qualifying is. Stephon Davis, extremely fast right now, but is about 15 seconds back from the lead, just having to deal with all the traffic. But just impressive tire-saving job here by the 60 machine. And we'll see if he can run down Spencer Gay here. Across the line, Spencer Gay runs the exact same lap time as last time. Stephon Davis a little bit slower. You see that 9 truck, that's Mike Beath, who has come down pit road. He's got fresher tires. So that is not pole position. Got our first leader coming down pit road. Garrett Kinder brings the 13 truck from second place. Just not able to really gain much on Cofield, so going to come down, try to get a lap early for Garrett Kinder and try to make up some of that position with those new tires. He will get 1 extra lap on fresh tires, so he's got to make the most of it. Gets in his box just fine. You can see there Charles Stevens coming out of pit road now in that 88 machine. So these drivers coming down pit road right at halfway. That's what most folks do. Andy Kurtz now coming down pit road along with Tracy Passons. So everybody starting to hit pit road. It's wide open. Now is the time to not make mistakes. You got to come down pit road. It's been a green flag type race. You can't afford to slide through pit box, have any issues. You got to get on the pit road, get off, and get back to running. Andy Kurtz able to come down pit road. Now your leader, Jonathan Cofield, comes down pit road. We'll see if the 13 truck's able to make up any ground here as the 58 comes down into his box. That gives the lead to Spencer Gay, but Stephon Davis all over the back bumper. We got a race for the lead during pit road cycles. Now, the problem with Stephon Davis, we'll see if he can, he's the fastest truck on the track right now, but everybody's coming down pit road getting fresh rubber. And you see Spencer Gay coming down pit road. So Stephon Davis trying to get as much as he can, but he's going to have to alter his driving style. The more he runs, that long run won't be a big difference. If he stays out here, he won't be able to hit that plateau just right. So we'll see how long Stephon stays out. Chuck Phelps in pit road as well. Out front, Garrett Kinder not able to really make up that much time. We'll see as Cofield is down into 1 and 2 now. Garrett Kinder about 2.5 seconds back from the leader. Able to make up about a second there on pit road. That's pretty good. Now he's got to go out there and do it on the track. Stephon Davis still leading the way, has yet to come down pit road. Chuck Phelps is on pit road now. Stephon Davis gives up the lead, comes down to get 4 tires in fuel and get back out there and continue his march. Just an impressive run for Stephon Davis so far. But that will give the lead back to Jonathan Cofield, who has been lights out here in this race. And doesn't seem to be looking back here. Goes around James Nelson, who is in second position. However, he pitted about 28 laps ago, so his tires are very, very worn. As the 58's coming back down pit road. Jonathan Cofield is having some sort of issue. I'm not really sure what's going on with the 58 machine. As he came down pit road, we'll see if we can figure out what happened. As he blinks out, we'll see if there's a penalty, but that's going to give the lead to James Nelson, who's being run down by Garrett Kinder here at the moment. We'll see if we can find out what happened. I don't know if he had a penalty coming out of pit road, maybe a blend penalty. I'm not real sure. I'll go back and try to find it for you. But Cofield, a big mistake, and that really opens up the race here. He is on pit road for now 20 seconds, and he is definitely holding us. We got a pass for the lead. Garrett Kinder with those fresh tires, not going to have much issue here getting around the 7. And he's going to go right around. So now give the lead to the 13 as Cofield is having some sort of issue, and he is still on pit road. 40 seconds now. And he's still not moving, so I'm not real sure what happened to the 58, unless there was some sort of issue that I'm not aware of. We'll see. I'm checking here on the replay if maybe there was a blend issue or something. He blinked out for a majority. When he came out of pit road, he blinked out, and he didn't come back till he was on the back straightaway. So I wonder if iRacing couldn't tell that he crossed over that blend line, and he comes out. He had a minute on pit road, so I wonder if that's what happened. I'll kind of show you. It's hard to see because it blinks out, so it's not real obvious, and it's really hard to try to show this. But you'll see he comes out of pit road. This is after his pit stop, and then he's gonna blink out right here, and he's gone. I mean, iRacing doesn't know where he's at. You see the camera's like, I don't know, and just goes off to a normal view, and he doesn't come back until there. He's in 3 and 4, so I don't know, but I wonder if iRacing just didn't know where he was. So I think he had a pit exit violation, and that put him now 3 laps down, Jonathan Cofield here, as he's going to have to make it up. But with this race not really showing to be a caution-filled race, man, that's going to really put the points leader in a big, big hole. Right in front of him, man, we got a battle. This is for 4th position. The 17 and the 5 there on your screen. The 32 is a lap down. That's Jeremiah Holt. And Aaron Adcock putting some pressure here on the 5 as they get down towards the end of this thing. We've only got just a few laps. I mean, got a whole run. I don't know what I'm saying. But 17 able to drive right around the 5, so move the 17 up to the 4th position. And they're going to start to run down James Nelson, who is right in front of them, not too far now on those old set of tires. So Aaron Adcock should be able to take the 3rd position relatively easily. We'll see. Well, Garrett Kinder, sort of a recipient of some really, really good luck there, but it's hard to say because if for Jonathan Cofield, if it was the connection issue and iRacing just didn't know where he was, that's super unfortunate and really unlucky. That's a tough deal, so you hate to see that for sure. But that happens, especially when your internet's having issues. iRacing just doesn't know where you are, and it's not able to score you, not able to get the timing lines and stuff just right. It can cause all kinds of problems. A stable connection is definitely necessary in sim racing, and unfortunately, Cofield's just having issues tonight. But Garrett Kinder now with a 1.7 second lead over Michael Kostick. So Garrett we can't declare him the winner at the moment, as Kostick has kept him within reach. Garrett going to have a couple laps more on his tires, so Kostick going to have the fresher tires to the end here, unless we have a caution. But if you're a 13 Kinder Farm and Ranch Garrett Kinder fan, you got to be feeling pretty good right now. But we'll see if Kostick can run him down, as Garrett's going to have to continue to worry about traffic. Look up in front of Garrett Kinder. All this lap traffic he's going to have to deal with. You see they're running almost 3 wide up in front of him. And somebody pulls off the track there. It's like Curtis Sovereign in that it's Tommy Osborne in the 26 truck. Checking in here on Stephon Davis. Going to the inside of the 01 of Mickey Isaac. So Stephon Davis has gotten into the top 10 yet again after having such a fantastic run. So, I'm watching this driver right here to see, as we've got just 40 laps to go, about 39 now. We'll see if how far Stephon Davis can go up through the field, but it's been a really impressive drive by the 60 machine. As now James Nelson comes down pit road, after trying a two-stop strategy. We're seeing quite a few drivers try that two-stop strategy. Just don't know if it's going to work out. The tire difference not really making up that much ground. It's got to be like 3 seconds, 2.5, 3 seconds for old tires, new tires for that really to work out, I think. But, you know, hey, it's worth a shot, I think. Got a new thing in ATVO. Now, I'll give you a little bit of inside baseball. There's a new thing now that it kind of lights up drivers as they're close. So if you wonder, well, we're swapping right to battles. How are we doing that? Well, I've got a little thing that kind of lights up now and gives me a visual indicator that's a little bit easier to read when somebody's getting close and a battle's starting to build up. So hopefully that helps me out to find those battles a little bit quicker moving forward. We'll see. But right now, looking at Brett Bieber trying to keep pace with Spencer Gay. This is 12th and 13th. Brett Bieber just had a tough run so far. Just hasn't had the speed. Maybe on the long run has dropped 7 spots from where he started, and currently running in that 13th position. Got fresh tires coming behind him. 33 of Butch Taylor. Butch is 3 laps down. You see the nervousness of doing a two-stop strategy. You can find yourself behind the 8 ball pretty much the whole race and just hoping that there's no cautions. First car a lap down is the 51 truck of Alex Veith. And check in on him and see what he's got going. He's got the VR headset rolling, got the I believe that's a mug that's really close to the camera. It looks like a riot shield next to him. I really don't know what that is. I'm thinking it's a cup, but it might just how close it is to the camera. It looks like there's a riot shield with the American flag on it, which I kind of would like one of those if they exist. But Alex Veith currently trying to get back on the lead lap. He needs a caution, get that lucky dog, as he's going to be fighting off Chuck Phelps for it, as Chuck's about a second back. So Alex Veith would not mind a caution one bit to get back on the lead lap and try to reset and get this thing, this train back on the right tracks, but he is falling back just a little bit. Checking back in on Spencer Gay, who's now run down the 11th position of Brandon Wallace. Spencer Gay had one of the slowest pit stops out of everybody, which is so frustrating. Might have it slide, may have slid through his box or something at 15.1 inside his box, which is that's about a half a second, sometimes a second slower than everybody else. So obviously some sort of issue with pit road for Spencer Gay that put him behind the 8 ball. I mean, he was right there with Stephon Davis, who's running up in the 8th position, and has now got some work to do to get back up in the top 10. Battle for 6th place, excuse me. Charles Stevens and Josh Lokovitz. They've been running pretty close this whole run, and Charles Stevens has that 6th position. I tell you what, let's do. Let's go through the field. Let's talk about everybody, see where they're at, what they're doing, as we've got a nice little long green flag run here with just less than 30 laps to go. Garrett Kinder started in the 5th position, has moved up, taking the lead when Jonathan Cofield had his issues. Just being there, that's the most important. If you're there, you can do it now. He is starting to get run down a little bit towards the end of this run by Michael Costa, just ever so slightly. We had about a 1.7 second lead at the beginning of this run after 30 laps. Costa has pulled it down to 1.3 as Garrett Kinder just having to fight through that lap traffic. So Michael Costa, who started 3rd up to 2nd, he's in position should Garrett Kinder have some issue. And look up here, he is having some as he's going to the inside of Brett Bieber, the 7 of James Nelson on those new tires, going around him at the same time. So all that is going to factor into losses. You see how many lap trucks that Garrett Kinder is going to have to deal with. Aaron Adcock, another big mover up front, started 7th, currently running 3rd. He's looking to the inside of Chuck Phelps, who's a lap down. But Aaron having a great run in that 17 True Green Ford F-150. Gonna need a caution, gonna need some help to be able to get up there and maybe fight for the win, but it's been a good run nonetheless. Right behind him, Andy Kurtz started up front. Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, but has really fallen back here. We talked the other night, and he said this is not one of my favorite tracks. And you know, in the Gen 4s, he was really, really good, really fast, but it seems like low horsepower here at this track makes it really frustrating, and Andy just not taking to it like he would like to. Right behind him, Tracy Passon's been in the mix in the top 5 all race long. Started 4th, is falling back to 5th. I think his highest was like 3rd at some point. So Tracy doing what he needs to do to stay in the top 5. He's got a 7.3 second lead over Josh Lokovitz, who's back here in the 6th position in a dogfight back here as he's able to get around Charles Stevens, but he is a big mover as well. Josh Lokovitz started in 11th position up to 6th, but the man of the race, if I got to give somebody a driver of the day, just an incredible run, Stephon Davis continuing to march up through the field, is right now battling with Charles Stevens for 7th place. Started 22nd. And he's got 18 seconds to the lead. He's going to need some help, too, to get up to the front. But Stephon Davis, man, just doing a great drive, being able to pass trucks at will, just kind of head and shoulders above everybody else. So, you know, had Stephon either, I don't know if they qualified or not, but had he qualified, we might be talking about Stephon Davis up front, not Garrett Kidd. Right behind him is Charles Stevens, kind of holding steady, started 9th, running in 8th. You know, starting to fall off the pace just a little bit right here, but still holding on pretty strong to this top 10 run that he's having here tonight. Steve McDonald about to be under fire from Mickey Isaac. Both these drivers, though, have had a great run through the field themselves. See, Steve McDonald started in 13th, he's running 9th. We've seen him be really patient and, you know, get some spots by just waiting and being patient, and so has Mickey Isaac, who's right behind him. Started 18th, currently inside the top 10. Brandon Wallace started 8th, has fallen back, and he is still under fire. Spencer Gay hasn't been able to get around him, but trying to maintain this position. But Brandon going to be under a lot of fire here from Spencer Gay, who has moved up a good bit as well at 3 spots. He's going to go to the outside here. Spencer Gay going to get the run, so that's going to give him the position. So Spencer Gay knows how to get around this track, and he goes up to the outside of Brandon Wallace and move him up to 11th. Brett Bieber, probably one of the drivers that has fallen back a little bit, just struggling here at Iowa. Just not, you know, maybe not his style of track. I'm not real sure, but it just really struggled here. Started in 6th, had a great qualifying run, but currently running in 13th position. Right behind him is Alex Veith. And all these drivers starting with Spencer Gay are a lap down. So Alex Veith running in the 14th position. Started 19th, so he's up 5 spots, so he's doing a good job. A lot of these drivers who have been moving up through the field just need a caution to be able to maybe get back in this thing and find some, you know, especially for Stephon Davis. Would love to see a caution get up there and maybe battle for the win. But Alex kind of stuck now that he's a lap down. Chuck Phelps been fighting all night long. I've seen his arms here in the cameras just back and forth a few times. He's really been struggling with the handling of the car of the truck off the corner. But he has gained a spot from where he started, so not having a bad race at all. Still holding on to that top 15 position. Behind him, Jeremiah Holt, a winner in Rebels. He's fallen back just a little bit. Started in 12th, is currently running in 16th. Just not having the night that he would like to have, but still right in the middle of the field, trying to maintain. Got a 3.4 second lead over Matt Knight. Started 21st, up to 17th, taking advantage of some guys who've had some trouble, been able to gain some spots. Matt Knight has. James Nelson on that two-stop strategy, having a lot of fun, I bet. You know, being able to be on the attack pretty much the whole race and not really have to worry about saving tires is a lot of fun. but I just don't know if it's going to work out so positive as he is. Started 10th, but he's currently running 18th, so he's not going to run. He's going to run down maybe Matt Knight's here, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make up that much time. And then Gary Wright back in 19th. Started 25th, so he's gained 6 spots from where he started. He started all the way in the back, and that Yahtzee 21 machine is slowly but surely making his way towards the top 15. Curtis Auburn also on that 2-stop strategy in that 54 Toyota. And able to gain some spots, though, so we'll see how that ends up. Right behind him is Jonathan Cofield, the biggest, obviously, disappointment tonight with that penalty. Had to sit on pit road for at least 40 seconds for a pit exit violation for blinking out and obviously missing the exit cone. It'd be interesting to know from him later exactly what happened, if he got up on the track and we just couldn't see it, or if him blinking out is what caused that. But currently back in 21st, obviously disappointed as he was leading early. You can see there's 60 laps he led. Mike V running in 22nd, started 24th. He's having a good run, as we'll show him real quick on the driver's cam. That 9 truck also on a 2-stop strategy. And you can see all the guys' 2-stop strategy. The one that's been able to do it the best so far has been James Nelson in the 17th. But outside of that, it really hasn't paid dividends for these guys. And then Mike Bertosa, the head honcho as far as sponsors go. And we definitely appreciate him and Hardline Transport Solutions for their support of this series. So glad to have him back this week. And he is falling back just a little bit. Saw him struggle here early. But he started in that 17th position, now running 23rd. And then Butch Taylor also on that 2-stop strategy back here in 24th. And Tommy Osborne has called it a night. Well, all right. Well, let's get back up front as there is a battle of brewing as Gander Kander has been really struggling to get through this lap traffic. Guys do not want to go a lap down, and they're fighting hard, but that's giving Michael Kostick what he needs to run down this 13 machine. Garrett Kinder's going to have to be careful. He's passing guys on the bottom. You don't want to let Kostick get up to the outside. That is the most important thing. He's constantly having to check his mirror, check the front windshield. He's doing all kinds of things to make sure that he can keep Michael Kostick in check, who's been able to, over the last 50 laps, go from 1.7 seconds down to 0.3 seconds. So Kostick has been able to do a really, really good job of slowly chipping away at this lead as they get down towards the end. You see Garrett Kinder get loose up off the corner, and you can blood in the water for Michael Kostick as he kind of sees that. Boy, he gives a little bit more throttle. He's working that top side. Now, the biggest thing is, can he make the pass? I mean, that's going to be the toughest part, as you see Garrett Kinder going to go straight up to the top side and dare him to pass him on the bottom. Garrett Kinder, that back end, looking a little nervous as we only got 6 laps to go here in this race. If you're Garrett Kinder, this is all you're thinking about. You've got pretty much clear track here. You don't really have to worry about too much lap traffic. I think that's Mickey Isaac up in front of him. So now you're just watching out the rear window, watching, and you see Garrett Kinder up at the top. He says, okay, if you want to pass me, go low, but you're going to have to work for it. We've seen that all night long, where that top side has just been able to really fend off any kind of passes. Now, Mickey Isaac, if you're Garrett Kinder, you might be reaching out to Mickey Isaac, sending your spotter down there to Mickey's spotter saying, hey, bud, if you don't mind, let us battle this thing out. But Mickey want to hold out, get that caution, get him back on the lead lap. And Kostick down to the inside here on the front straightaway as Garrett gets a nice run, but you see the run just not as good as it has been all night long, as these guys are right on the same run that they had at the beginning of the race on their tires. So these tires are very, very old. And so Kostick has his work cut out for him if he's going to get this win. Now, Kostick, I can guarantee you one thing. Kostick not going to move him out of the way. If you're wondering, well, I wonder if he's going to put the bumper to him. The answer is no. I have raced with Kostick plenty of times, and there has not been a race that's been important enough for Kostick to ever use the bumper. So I can guarantee you, unless there's a mistake, that won't happen. He'll finish second. But if there's anybody who can make a pass on old tires and make it happen here on the bottom, that is Michael Kostick. He's going to dive down to the inside, just not able to do it right there. He's not in position to make that happen. 3 laps to go for Michael Kostick. Does he have what he needs to get around the 13? It looks like the tires are pretty much wore out, but the 13s are as well. We saw him get a little bit loose off the corner. That's all that it would take for Michael Kostick to get a run that he needs to be able to complete that slide job. You see the 8 going to go to the top side, try to get the biggest run he can down the front straightaway. It's extremely long down the front straightaway, and try to set up for the pass. He's only going to have a couple more attempts at it, so he's going to have to get the best run he can through the middle of the corner here and get a good run. All 3 and 4 as they come to the white flag. Does he have enough? Can he get it done? He's running out of chances here. This will be his last chance to really get the run he needs off the corner. Not a really big run as Garrett Kinder able to run that top side a little bit better as white flag is out for Garrett Kinder. Kostick pushing here off the corner. No holding back here, no point saving tires. Does he have anything for the 13 as they go down into 3 and 4? Garrett Kinder only has to control that top side. No lap traffic's going to bother him. Comes off of turn 4, and Garrett Kinder is going to win here at Iowa. What a finish here in this race as Michael Kostick had the ability to drive up there to try to take the win away from Garrett Kinder, but as the tires were worn, just not able to do it. So your winner, the 13 machine here of Garrett Kinder. Well, a really good race, 0 caution flags. Man, just a big shout out to this field who did a fantastic job of running this thing all the way through without any cautions. Just an impressive drive by everybody. I know it's tough to do at a short track, and these guys get it done. You see the Poe man on the front stretch celebrating with their winner, Garrett Kinder. Now, we got to give out some awards, so let's go ahead and do that. The No Neck Fast Repair Hard Charger Award is going to go to Stephon Davis, who, man, just a fantastic run for him. Started 22nd, and with no caution flags, able to drive all the way up to 6th position. I mean, that's definitely the driver of the day. And so shout out to Stephon Davis. What a great drive. I mean, just really impressive. I mean, we didn't see a lot of people who could do that much. Mickey Isaac was a driver who was able to gain 10 spots on the track, but Stephon Davis gaining 16. Just impressive stuff. As far as the Hard Luck Award, I mean, obviously, I hate to say it, but it's going to go to Jonathan Cofield. Just tough luck there. I believe the connection issue is why he had the trouble that he did. But he's going to win the Andy Kurtz Hard Luck Award. You see, he's still blinking out. Even as he crosses the line, he just sends it. Well, all right. Well, let's get in some interviews in just a moment. We'll go through the results real quick and see where everybody finished as we get ready for the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show. And we'll get to talk to some of these drivers and see what they thought about this race and if they enjoyed it. But let's go through the results real quick. Garrett Kinder takes home the win here tonight. And Michael Kostick comes home in second. Aaron Adcock brings that 17 machine home in third position. Sorry, doing something in the background. But Tracy Passons comes home in fourth. Andy Kurtz in fifth. Stephon Davis, again, an impressive drive. Want to highlight that as just a great drive up to sixth. Josh Lokovitz having a great run, moved himself up in the top 10 after starting 11th. Finishes in the 7th position. Mickey Isaac in 8th. Steve McDonald in 9th. 10th, Spencer Gay also having a great run. 11th, Charles Stevens Jr. Brett Bieber in 12th. Brandon Wallace in 13th. Alex Veith, 14th. Chuck Phelps able to hold on to that top 15. Jeremiah Holt in 16th. James Nelson in 17th. Matt Knights in 18th. Gary Wright in 19th. Curtis Sauberan rounds out your top 20. 21st, Jonathan Cofield. 22nd, Mike V. 23rd, Butch Taylor. 24th, Mike Bertosa. And 25th, rounding out your field, is Tommy Osborne. Well, all right, I'm ready to talk to some drivers, man. I want to see what these guys thought about this race, this green flag race. Went green flag all the way from start to finish. But we're going to start with your third place finisher, Aaron Adcock. You got you up in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, man, a great run by you. Started in the 7th position, slowly moved your way. The truck seemed really fast. How was it feeling out there tonight at Iowa?
It felt real good. I was really, to be honest with you, I was anticipating at least a caution or two. So on the start of the race, my focus was to take it easy with the tires being cold, try to get as many positions as I could, kind of get settled in a little bit and ride around single file and just take advantage of guys wearing their stuff out a little too much. That was kind of the mindset I've had. I love this track, but I've had a lot of moments where I've looped it coming out of turn 4. So I had that on my mind a lot tonight, especially at the beginning of the race. When the tires worn out, I could kind of get on it a little bit more. But yeah, early on in the very beginning of the race, it was just focus on getting some heat built up in the tires, making smart decisions, and just capitalize when people made mistakes or burnt their stuff up. And it had a few close calls with lap cars having a little fresher tire than I did. They can catch you so fast, and if they're not in channel with you, they don't know where you want to be and where they need to be. And so it's just an element of the race that makes it fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a tough track to pass. We saw a few drivers able to really make it work. Well, what was working for you to try to make these passes on a track that once the tires start to wear out, the bottom just starts to go away and you really have to work at it? What was working for you to be able to make those passes, especially in the top 5?
Ooh, I got to keep that one in my pocket, but I will say that definitely just throttle control. This is one of those tracks that if you arc it down to the yellow line, you just feel like you got all this track space to just throttle up. And if you do, you're just gonna burn the right front off. Driving it to the wall, it's just gonna steadily. It's gonna rub off speed, and then as well as it's gonna eat the front tires up. So it's just mainly to me, it's kind of like a small homestead. You feel like you can really throttle up, but you got to be patient. You got to be, disciplined to, take the passes when you can, throttle up when you need to. On old tires, the bottom was hard to pass. 3 and 4, you could kind of make the top work once it kind of rubbered up a little bit. But yeah, just patience and throttle control, and then everything else just kind of takes care of itself, the rest of the way. But yeah, it was a fun race tonight. I really enjoyed it.
But he's sitting about 4th in points, and it's important on these nights to have, everybody wants to win every week if you can, but allude to a little bit how important it is to have these 3rd place finish nights, especially if you're going to fight for a championship, to keep momentum up, but also keep you in the fight in the point standings, and not really step on your dick, every other race, be able to get these 3rd place finishes, maybe a 4th place, 5th place. How important it is to finish the races like you were talking about earlier.
It's real important, especially with last week being a road course race. That is not my strength whatsoever. And went into that race 3rd in points and dropped to 4th in points after that night. So I really needed a solid night tonight. Sometimes you just got to know that, hey, I got a 5th place truck. And, if I take care of it, I should have a good race, should finish in the top 5. But, was able to capitalize tonight and get a 3rd place finish. So in my mind, that's just 2 more spots that I was able to gain on track that, I don't really feel like I had it. The 3rd place speed from a, heads up standpoint. If we'd have gotten some restarts and stuff like that, I was very ginger on restart or the start of the race. So I kind of feel like I would have been the same mentality towards the end of the race. And yeah, so just keep that mindset of, especially with not being winning, you're in. Even though I got a win, earlier this season, you really have to stay disciplined to the mindset of, every position counts, every race counts. You got to be able to get the finishes week in and week out, and I'll take a top 3, top 5 every week, and that'll just help slowly build the points up. So yeah, just got to keep that mindset of big picture racing.
There you go. Well, congratulations on your third place finish. And, man, as always, who you got to thank out there?
Yeah, first and foremost, my wife and kids, my family that's watching. My Uncle Tracy, he let me go earlier tonight when he knew he'd worn his tires out. So appreciate him being a team player. All my guys at Poman Motorsports, all the sponsors here in Rebels Racing, the truck series here, especially for Harlisle, for all that they do, being the main sponsor, Chuck Peg Leg, and all the other guys that take their hard-earned money and sponsor this series. You up in the booth, appreciate everything you do. Can't wait to go back and rewatch these things and learn from stuff that the leaders were doing that I can help and take moving forward. So yeah, just great night at the Poman shop. Congrats to Kinder on his win and all the guys for a good clean race tonight. Very excited that we went green flag racing at Iowa and was caution free.
There you have it. Aaron Adcock, third place finish tonight. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Michael Kostick, who had a great run there, but came up just a little bit short. Kostick, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got it.
Man, what a good race. You were up front pretty much the whole night. Started third, kind of just hanging around third most of the night. Cofield had his trouble, and that kind of opened the door for you. And on that last run, man, you had a 1.7 second gap between you and Garrett Kinder, and just slowly kept chipping away at it till you got within 10 laps to go. Talk about your race. What did you expect? I mean, obviously a lot different than a Gen 4s here. Tell me a little bit of comparison, the difference. How different is this track when you have a whole lot less horsepower than you did maybe Friday night?
It's not as fun for sure. His setup was super tight on the long run, so it was pretty aggravating, especially trying to pass, even though it's always hard to pass here. Yeah, running Kinder down. I was trying to kind of save tires a little bit, so I had something for him, but I just wasn't gonna be able to get around him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in your head, while you're trying to figure out anything, is there anything you thought maybe would work, and you're trying to run him down, you get close, you're like, what can I do? Is there any thought, any idea that popped in? Well, maybe I could try this. Will this work? You took a couple attempts at it, but it seemed like that bottom was real tough. Is there anything maybe you could have done at all?
Yeah, shoved him out of the way. That's pretty much it. Unless I could have managed to get to the high side, but he was covering that pretty good. So, hey, I think moving him would have been the only option.
Well, a second place finish is still a great night. A green flag from start to finish race, no cautions, and you come home in second. But looking forward to the next couple weeks. I mean, if we look at the schedule here, we go to Dover, Talladega, and Gateway. Talk to me about Dover. How you feeling there as we go to a really, really fun 1 miler?
Yeah, I like Dover a lot. Just a lot more options there for running, and it's a little bit more fun track because Iowa's just miserable, and then Talladega probably be miserable as well, but Gateway should be fun to drive if it's not a caution fest.
Well, great finish tonight. Second place, as always, man. Who you got to thank?
Thank you for doing the broadcast. Brandon for covering the admin duties tonight. Matt for what he does for the series. Hardline Transport Solutions. Cofield Asphalt Finishing. And all my teammates at Bandits.
All right, there you have it. Michael Kostick with the second place finish. And we're going to get to the wiener himself, Garrett Kinder. Garrett Kinder, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Eddie.
Man, well, what a great race out of you. You were able to drive up from fifth in that first run all the way up to second. You had a little bit of gap. You came in early, tried to jump, undercut just a little bit. It gained you a second, and then when Cofield had his issues then, and then you were inherited the lead. Talk a little bit about that first part of the race. How you were able to get around folks, do you think, versus it seemed like a lot of people were having a tough time to pass, but you were able to pass some of the fastest trucks on the track. What do you think was really helping you there in that first part of the run?
There's 2 or 3 different lines that you can run at Iowa. A lot of guys were running the same one. A lot of guys were running low to mid. Um, what you can really do here is you can enter in a little bit higher and then cut off super low and get that, especially on fresh tires, get that good entry for your next turn and basically just slide job. It takes a lap or 2 to get that set up properly, but it's really just applying pressure. I think I was rode behind Kurtz, maybe 6 inches from a bumper. It seemed like for 5 or 10 laps, and had a good time with it. So yeah, just moving around a little bit, having some fun with it.
Well, you come out of the pits, and you're pretty close to him, and then all of a sudden Cofield goes down pit road with that penalty. What changes in your mindset? Because then it's not really about chasing Cofield. Now it's looking in the relative and seeing Cossack 1.7 seconds back, and then looking out your front windshield and seeing a whole damn field of lap trucks that you've got to navigate.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. I want to know, how difficult it is to, obviously we say it all the time. Nobody expects lap trucks to move out of the way, and I think that's sort of been a rule here in Rebels for a long time, is that lap trucks, they're racing for their own positions, they're racing for what they've got going on in the race, and racing to stay on the lead lap, and that's all fair. But with Michael Kostick breathing down your neck, how difficult it is to keep your composure and not get a little road rage and start doing crazy stuff. How difficult it is to do that, especially there towards the end?
It's pretty difficult. Like you said, they're not expected to move out of the way. They've got their own race going on. Especially, caution comes out and they basically stayed on the lead lap just by doing that, and they won't go a lap down with that short of a timeout left. So, yeah, 100% understood it. I never got frustrated about it. Just kind of had to bide my time. It really let Caustic reel it in. There was one where I got real shallow through 1 and 2 and had to check real hard, and Caustic made up 4 or 5 tenths right there. But yeah, it was interesting. I didn't know Cofield had that penalty until 3 4 laps later, and I think there was a truck that ran long, and when I passed him, it said I was the leader, and I was very confused at the whole statement. So then yeah, you're exactly right. I started looking at Caustic and the relative and trying to play the how, because I didn't have a rabbit to chase anymore. I always run better if I have a rabbit to chase, it seems like. So uh, just kind of trying to mind the gap and make sure I could maintain at least a little bit of a lead while dealing with that lap traffic. And they were very respectful. They didn't do any super crazy moves, but it was a little bit nerve wracking going 2, 3 wide on some older tires.
Yeah, well, there at the end, it kind of opened up, and you had some space out in front. Just Mickey Isaac was in front, but he was pretty fast. And so there at the end, Cossack took a couple shots at you to try to get to the inside. But I would imagine, in Iowa, like you had to feel pretty confident there you were going to be able to hold him off, especially with just a few laps left.
Yeah, I enjoy Iowa a lot and know that if you're running solo, then running low to maybe a couple lanes off the bottom is fast way around if you're running solo by yourself. But if there's anybody up top, then you can't run that line anymore and make it effective, because they chop off your run, and you got to get all the way to the wall, especially off 3 and 4. So I knew as soon as he got within 3 tenths or so that I was just going to move up and start playing that defensive game. It feels dirty doing that. But it's the way the game's played at Iowa for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do, and that's why track position is so important, because as you get through the run, that's the game that you play, and that's when you put Iowa on the schedule, that's what's going to happen. But
Yep.
yeah, man, just a great run, way to stay in it, and be at the right place when the opportunity opened itself up, and Cofield having his issues. And able to get that win, man. So congratulations on a great win. I mean, I feel like I've interviewed you as a winner a lot in the last couple of weeks. So I don't know what's changed in your life. I feel like a lot of good things are going on. So congratulations on all those good things and a bunch of wins that you got going on, championships, got all kinds of good stuff going on, brother. So congratulations. As always, man, who you got to thank? These sponsor shout outs.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Eddie. It's we're on a little bit of a good roll right here, so hopefully it keeps it going. Of course, we'll thank Kinder Farm and Ranch Ratchet Speed Shop, Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else, make sure you check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page and Andy over at Wolfpack Racing. Teammates, I guess I'm kind of running 2 teams and with 2 teams now. Brandon's still running the Reaper Racing banner over here, which is good because I don't get a chance to run very often over here anymore. And of course, all the guys over at Poman, won a championship with them over in Apex. So ran with them tonight in the voice chat. So it was a lot of fun hanging out with the guys again. All my short tracking guys over at Velocity. All the sponsors that make the league tick. Matt Kleeman for the truck series, making it go off without a hitch. My wonderful fiance for letting me race and spend time with, I think she calls y'all my ugly boyfriends on the computer versus hanging out with her. And then also for Brandon for running the league. So just appreciate everybody that puts their time into this and makes it go off, and appreciate you with the broadcast boost up at V Speed Racing Network.
Well, ugly is definitely true. I don't know if there's a good looking fella in the bunch here at Rebels, but
you're talking to him.
Yeah, well, man, congratulations on the win, and looking forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season, brother.
All right, I appreciate you, Eddie.
Well, there you have it. That's the end of it. We're done here at Iowa. Thank y'all so much. Don't really have much else to say. We pretty much talked about everything. Garrett Kinder is your winner, and thanks to Flexible Freight Solutions for the post-race show here tonight. Well, all right, guys. Well, we're going to call it here at Iowa. Just another fantastic race. And, yeah, I mean, what else? What can you expect? I mean, it's so interesting to see these short tracks and end up going green flag start to finish. That's pretty cool. So, thank all the drivers in the field tonight. Did such a great job, all 25 of them. Pretty big field here for Iowa. And looking forward to seeing what comes up. We'll take a look at the schedule one more time over next week. Boy, we'd love to see it. And then we got Talladega right after that, which will be exciting, frustrating for some, maybe awesome for others, like a Jeremiah Holt. So we'll see. All right, guys, well, that's it. We'll talk to you later. We'll be back on VSRN tomorrow night for the Bluegrass Truck Series. And then we'll have a brand new series going to start up, the Fastenal Winter Series in the MPI Racing League on Tuesday night. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a new one. It's going to start from late models and work our way up all the way to the Xfinity car. It'll be sort of a tryout series for the MPI Xfinity League. So that should be a lot of fun. Wednesday night, we'll be back at Goat Locker for their Next Gen Cruising Classics Next Gen series. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then we'll be back here in Rebels on ARCA. Oh, no, next week will be Champion Motorsports Truck Series over there on V-Speed 2 for the final race of the season. That'll be a lot of fun. Finish that one off with a bang. All right, guys, we'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good night.